Good morning. This is going to teach you how to use the multi-material painting tool in PrusaSlicer, but I'm going to start off with an STL file that I made in Blender. So if I go to File, Export from my file that I've created in Blender, STL, please save your files in the Documents folder. Give it a name that makes sense, so we can say first name, last name, I don't know, Rubber Ducky for painting, and hit export for STL. Now that file should be saved in your Documents folder. You should be able to go down to the Windows search bar at the bottom of our screen. Search for PrusaSlicer, Prusaslicer. It should come up. Your version should be similar to 2.6. Once in PrusaSlicer, you may have some updates available. Don't do the updates right now. We can do them later. Click Cancel. The other thing that will pop up on yours if it's the first time that you've opened it is the configuration menu. If it's the second time you've opened it, you've probably already configured it and you don't need to do this, so just hang tight for a second. But if you go to configuration wizard, the configuration wizard will pop up momentarily. If you click through all of these things, there's only a handful of options we need to actually change. Click Next for the first one. The first menu that pops up, Prusa FFF Technology Printers. We need to find the MK3 family. That's the type of printers we have. And then over here, it's the original Prusa i3, MK3S, and MK3S Plus MMU2S. Lots of letters, lots of numbers. But that's the one we want. We have the 0.4 millimeter nozzle. That's the standard nozzle. You can click Next through all the rest of these menus until you get to the one that I show you next. Next, next, next. You can leave all the defaults. This is the one we want next, File Association. You could also click all the way down here on File Association. If you wanted to, you could click the Prusa FFF and the File Association menu. These two files we want to associate with PrusaSlicer so that Windows will open them in PrusaSlicer and nothing else. The last one we need to do is the view mode. We want to be experts. We don't want to be simple or advanced. There's not enough tools to use. And if you want to use inches, that's fine. However, the program defaults to using millimeters in many instances, so we might have to get used to millimeters. All right, but you can leave inches, and I will too. Click Finish. Once in here, this is your bed. The other name for that is a build plate. All right, this is where your 3D printing design will go. Notice over here you have some settings. You can change the thickness of the layers that you want. To print the fastest, you do the thickest layer. To print the slowest and most detailed, though, you do the thinnest layer. All right, down here, generic ABS is okay, but we're not actually using ABS, so it's not going to work. We're going to switch everything to Prusa PLA because that's what works best with our printer. All right. Notice over here are the colors. If you click this color scheme thing here, this little color box, you can change the colors to whatever you wish. All right. There we go. Whatever colors you want, you can click through all of those and do that. And then down here is where you can change supports if you need them. If there's overhangs in your design, we can turn them on and off. Various options in here will change the way the supports work. And there's a lot more detailed selections available in other places of this program for supports. And infill is how much of the inside of the design is going to be filled in. Generally speaking, between 5-20%, somewhere in there is pretty good. It depends on your design. You need to have enough material on the inside to support what's above and on top of your design. Depends really on the design. So we will get going here. I'm going to pull in that rubber ducky design now. I'm going to do that by going to File, Import, STL. All right. And in here, I should have the file that is now, because it's related to PrusaSlicer with the orange and black cut in half circle. That's the symbol for PrusaSlicer because it's slicing it, right? And I should be able to have that file that I made a moment ago in Blender available. It's in my Documents folder, see? Click Open. Now, we made things really small in Blender, right? You may not have known that, but you were making them very small. Notice how it's 0.157 inches in the x direction, 0.2 in the y direction, and 0.2117 in the z direction, which is up and down. So it's very small. If we want to make this thing, I don't know, 3 inches tall, you could make it 3 inches tall by changing the size compared to our world here. All right. This little button here locks and unlocks these dimensions so that they are connected or disconnected. So you could stretch designs in here if you unlock it, or you can keep it so that it is in proportion and it scales in proportion if it's locked. All right. All right. Next up, we want to cut the bottom of our design off so we have a flat spot to grow on. In other words, it's part of our bed adhesion plan. How is this thing going to stand? Right now, it's actually not. It's going to tip over and not build very well without turning on supports, which would go up underneath here like so, and support our duck. But we might as well just make it so it doesn't need supports, and it's going to be sitting flat anyways. So we're going to cut off the bottom. The tool to cut off the bottom is the cut tool. With an object selected, you can see that an object is selected by making sure it's green. Okay, and here's our cut tool. This tool shows 2 different objects. It's cutting it in half. All right, and it's almost always cutting on the Z line, the Z position. All right, you can see that Z position change if you hover over this tool right here in the middle. You can get to this yellow dot, and you can see where it's changing. Now notice the white circle. It's really not a circle, it's the shape of our design. Moving around our design, you can utilize that to notice where our flat bottom will be. Probably go somewhere right there. Now check by clicking and rotating with a regular left click in a blank area of your screen. That's how you rotate. All right. Check to make sure you're not cutting off too much of your design. All right. I'd say that's probably pretty good. We want to do the place on cut. That's fine. It's going to keep this part and move it over somewhere else, and keep orientation of the bottom part. So you can change that around depending on the needs of your design. Cut into objects or parts. Objects are fine. They're selectable. That's a good thing. We're going to perform the cut. And now we have 2 objects. They're both selected currently. But currently we want to delete this bottom part because we don't want to print that. We don't need the bottom of our duck. So click off of everything. You may have to double click. You can rotate it around to see that you're not selected anymore. Select that new piece, and on the keyboard, hit the delete key. Not the backspace key, but the delete key. All right. Now you have a rubber ducky that is sitting flat. You can notice the flat bottom of our rubber ducky now by rotating our screen around. Okay. If you want to move your duck on the screen, just click the duck, and then you can move it around on the screen, which is actually moving it around on the bed. If you push it off the bed, it turns blue. All right, so that's where you cannot print. All right, so this thing over here is called a wipe tower. I call it a mess block sometimes. If we print in multicolors, this is necessary to wipe the extruder clean every time that the colors change, but it does build up at the same height as our design so that it keeps it at the level of this and prints neatly and doesn't just create a mess on the side. All right, so there's our rubber ducky. It's not painted yet. It's only cut flat and placed somewhere near the center of the bed. It doesn't matter necessarily where it places. It seems to print pretty well all over the bed, but center's a good idea. All right. Next up, the painting of it, the actual painting of it. We're going to use this tool here. If you're not in expert mode, it will not show up. The modes, in case you forget, are over here. There's simple, look to the top right corner of your screen, advanced, and expert. The expert mode is the one we want to be in. Here's your multi-material painting tool. Click that. All right. With an object selected, you can paint things. Now I have my colors set to greens and blues. Let's say we want to change our rubber ducky to yellow. So I'm going to change this to yellow over here in the filament selection area. By doing that, it automatically changes the first color to yellow. That's because I did the first color over here. If I wanted to change my second color, let's say we wanted to make the beak orange. All right, we can select that to orange. The second color becomes orange. Now let's say you wanted a third color. How would you do that? You could change the third color over here to, I don't know, red. And click OK. Now where's the third color over here? Oh no. Now it's very easy. Select the extruder. The extruder is the material the way that the material is fit, all right, into the machine. It's actually like the part that the material goes through. All right, so you can change it to the third extruder, second color. All right, what does first color and second color mean? First color means if you are clicking with the left mouse button, you are going to be painting the first color. If you're clicking with the right mouse button, you are going to be painting with the second color. So in order to paint with the yellow, I'm just going to click and drag, and now I can just draw. And that's because I have the brush tool on, all right, the tool type. If I wanted to fill the whole duck with yellow, in fact, just the body of the duck with yellow, I'm going to click the Smart tool, and I'm going to click the duck. And what that's doing is it's looking for different angles between different faces. And the way we built this, the duck's head and the body are connected very neatly and smoothly, so there's not a lot of angles. So if you click on it with the Smart Fill, it understands that you probably want to color in that whole duck. All right. Now it leaves the eyes and the beak and the wings because they are more than 30 degrees. All right. So you can mess with the angle and select more or less. Oftentimes it's hard to select the other ones because, yeah, it's actually more than 90 degrees. So um, some designs will vary from that. 30 degrees is the default, though. All right. Now the other thing is, let's add the second colors. So I just clicked with the left mouse button to put the first color. I'm gonna get me back to orange here. So I'm gonna go back to extruder 2 and use my right mouse button to click using the Smart Fill. And I Smart Filled the duck in accident. There we go. Just click it again with the regular mouse button. And you can see that I am able to color in my duck. All right. Beautiful duck, right? I think that's pretty cool. But now I need to slice it so that it can actually be printed. Okay. Um, in order to slice it so it can actually be printed, it's very easy. You click Slice Now. All right, and you can notice the mess block changed. See, I call it a mess block. It's wipe tower. The wipe tower changed to be the size that it needs to be to fit your design. All right. It does say that there's print stability issues. Prusa becomes very smart. You can change some settings deep in the background of this program to try to eliminate those detected print stability issues. If you click more, you can see what it says is wrong with it. A collapsing overhang. Consider enabling supports. You can see those by going up here to Tool and Feature Type, and you can see that the blue is an overhang. Now, there's not a lot of overhang going on, but right at the bottom of his chin, there might be some, and right at the very bottom of where we cut, we didn't quite cut up high enough to handle what it thinks it can handle. Now, in my experience, we are very, very close. My expectation of this is it will print fine. And it should be okay. About 60 degrees from 90. If this was 90, going 60 degrees down, hoping you can see my mouse, I was pointing straight up, going 60 degrees down to its chin is okay. If you go horizontally, going 30 degrees up is about what our printer can handle. So I think that those will print out all right. Worst case scenario, there's a little bit of a drip there, and it'll catch and build up. Same for the bottom. All right. Now notice our color is gone. All right, that's just because we haven't exported the G-code. All right, so let's export our G-code and see what we've got. And also, I've put it on feature type too. So color print is the other way you can see this as well. So if you go down to color print, you can see your color again. All right. But let's export our G-code. G-code is what the printer actually reads. You can leave these names as long as you've named your file something relevant. It's good. You can keep that. It's great. Click Save. If not, give it a relevant name, please. All right. So we've exported the G-code, but we haven't saved our project file yet. All right. We should save our project file in case we want to, I don't know, make changes. So let's say some changes I'll show you in a moment. We want to make it different. All right. So we'll do save project or save project as. Either one does the same. If you've imported one file, it should probably pull that file name in automatically, and that's okay because this is a 3MF file. This is how you make your 3MF files. All right. This is the project file. Again, in your documents folder, good place to save it. Click Save. So now we have this file. We could open in PrusaSlicer repeatedly, and that's great. Or we could save it as something different if we wanted to. And say we do want to make something different. Let's say we want to make 3 of these rubber duckies. So I'm going to go File, Save Project As, and say Brad Pressler 3 rubber duckies. It's okay. 3 rubber ducky for painting. There we go. Totally fine name. All right. Let's say we want to make 3. In order to change anything with this, we need to go back to the 3D editor view. In this 3D editor view, we can get out of this tool simply by clicking maybe the Move tool and then clicking off of everything. All right. Let's say we want to make 3 of these rubber duckies. Now we've already painted them, so if we actually make duplicates by going to Add Instance, you get 3 rubber duckies by clicking 2 more times. All right. They're overlapping. Oh no, how do we fix that? Very easily. You go to the Arrange tool. Click the Arrange tool. All right. And after this, we'll need to slice it again. And there's our 3 rubber duckies with our painting fixed and selected and set. All right. It also moves the wipe tower to be in the most efficient spot that it thinks about. In my opinion, sometimes that wipe tower can be moved. If you go back to your 3D editor view, you can select the wipe tower and you can move it into a little bit of a tighter space, and maybe that does save time. Maybe it doesn't, because the computer is probably pretty smart. All right, so you can move it wherever you need to move it. Just don't move it off; it'll turn blue, and don't move it into something; it will build it together, and that's not going to work. All right, so there we go. We can slice again, export the GCode again. And it's encountered an error. Ooh, that's the first time I've seen that. I don't know what that's all about. Export G-code. There we go. I just clicked export G-code again, and something was funky in the background. So that should be okay. Now, does it change the name to Brad Pressler 3 Rubber Ducky for painting? Click Save. And now that is the file we will send to the next program we will use, which is called Pronterface, and that'll be another video. Hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of information, and for everybody's project, there will be probably other settings that we may need to change. I'll go into those in detail when we come across them. Thanks.